7 tips that you can use for the Midmar Mile. We've got Midmar Mile coming up in the beginning of February. A lot of people are doing it for the first time. Some people are doing it for the 21st time. But whether you're a first timer or an old timer, these will be useful tips for you to take into doing your swim. So whether you're doing 1 mile, 8 miles or 16 miles, here are some of my top 7 tips for you going into Midmar this year. So tip number 1 is your breathing. It's very important to get into a rhythm with your breathing. I tend to breathe every 2 and then every 3 strokes. A lot of people will breathe only one way. It's a little bit too late to change your breathing now, but it's important to just remember to breathe out in the water, and then when you turn your head to take a breath in, you can get maximum air in. And keep your breathing slow and relaxed. Tip number 2 is sighting. When you're swimming in an open body of water, it's not like a swimming pool like we have behind me, where you've got like lane ropes and it's a clear beginning and end. There's a lot of waves, there's thousands of other people around you, so you're going to have to look up every now and again and see where you're going. So my thing is to take a couple of strokes, and every 7, 10, 11 strokes, lift your head up to see where you are, and then you can put your head back down again. It's helpful when you're doing Midmar to sight using the coastline along the side of the dam. It's not always a good idea to just follow the person in front of you, because they might also be going skew. So sighting is very helpful, and practice sighting. You can do some good training in the pool the week before Midmar, where you swim head up the whole way, one length, and then swim head down, that's the second length, where you're doing long, slow strokes, concentrating on your technique. So when you're swimming with your head up, it takes quite a lot of energy. You have to kick a little bit harder. So it's not helpful to swim up with your head up all the time, but try and take as long a time in between your sightings so that you can just get into a rhythm, and then only every, 100 meters or so, then you put your head up and you look. Another helpful thing is to count your strokes when you start to get tired. It distracts you, it takes your mind off things. And also if you're starting to get tired, doing a couple of breaststroke strokes or turning onto your back and doing a bit of double arm backstroke just to catch your breath is also very helpful. You'll see in this video also demonstrating the 2-beat kick, which is just a gentle 1 kick with 1 stroke, 1 kick with 1 stroke, and then breathing every 2 or every 3 strokes with a little bit of sighting in between. So I'll show you the drill where you just do sighting only with your head up, which is quite taxing, and then I'll show you the drill where you combine head up with normal swimming and putting that into practice. So sighting is very important to see where you're going. They have buoys every 400 meters on Midmar, so you can look for where the next buoy is, aim for that, and then every couple of strokes you just lift your head up and then put your head back down and carry on swimming. And you can practice that in the build up to Midmar, in the pool, or if you're doing any ocean swimming, you can do that also in the ocean. Tip number 3 is to stay relaxed. It's very important when you're doing something like Midmar. Again, it's not like swimming in a pool where there are lane ropes and you have your own lane and there's no one else around you. There are going to be thousands of frantic people, first timers. Everyone tends to sprint at the beginning of the race, and it's like massive, frantic, it's hectic, it's stressful, and you want to try and just stay relaxed. Take a step back, find yourself a little bit of space, and there's no need, unless you're going in there to win it, there's no need to rush and race. Just start in a nice, comfortable rhythm, get into your rhythm, and you'll find that as you start going, you'll probably pass a lot of people along the way, or maybe you won't, and that's okay. You're not there. Most of you are not there to win the race, it's just to participate. So go in there, do it fun, make it comfortable, and relax. So with the frantic energy around you at the beginning of the swim, it's going to make you feel quite tense, and especially if you're nervous and it's the first time you're doing it, just take some nice deep breaths before you start, and just remember, you're not there to win, you're not there to go and beat the person next to you, actually there to just achieve a goal and tick that thing off your list, or just participate, most of you. So go in there and have fun, and just try and remember your deep breathing, remember long smooth strokes, and that's going to help you relax into the swim. And just go from one buoy to the next. So you're going to aim for the first 400 meters, get relaxed. If you're feeling comfortable, you can pick up your pace. If you're not, you can go a little bit slower, and just try and find a little space for yourself. Sometimes it's helpful to start on the side of the swim, or rather than in the middle with all the people. So let people run ahead of you and start a little bit slower as well. That's also helpful at the start of the race. So tip number 4 is pre-nutrition. It's very important to eat properly before you're doing the Midmar Mile. So having something quite substantial an hour before you swim that has a bit of a protein in it, a bit of carbs. I like to have a smoothie with fruit and vegetables, and I throw in an egg to help with my protein because I struggle to eat before a race or an event like that. But if you have a good appetite, you can have some eggs, you can have some oats, you can have anything as long as you're eating a well-balanced meal an hour before. And then just have sips of water or juice before you get into the water. Some dried fruit is helpful, a banana, that kind of thing. Something that's not going to take too long to digest. So if you have a banana just before you get in the water, make sure you're used to eating before you swim. And the riper the banana, the quicker the energy is going to release. So if your banana is not very ripe, it's not going to have any effect on your swim. But if you have a very ripe banana, it's going to affect you instantly and give you the quick energy that you need. So you want your high GI foods, things like raisins, bananas, ripe bananas and that kind of thing, or like a fruit juice to get you in the water before you go. Tip number 5 is kicking. When you're doing a long open distance, open water swim, kicking is actually relatively insignificant. For long swims, it's a slow 2-beat kick. The kicking is really just to help you keep your balance. Unless you're doing it as a race where you're sprinting the event, then you'll bring in your power kick and you'll be kicking consistently throughout the race. But those of you that are doing it just to tick that box or for fun or for the first time or as a challenge, personal challenge, the kick is very insignificant. The kick is really just to keep you afloat and to get your buoyancy. So it's normally a 2-beat kick. So it's a kick, stroke, stroke, kick, stroke, stroke. So your kick is your legs kind of drag behind you, but they do need to kick a little bit so that they don't sink. Especially if you're male, you tend to have less buoyancy, so you're going to sink more. So the kick becomes a little bit more important, but it's very important just to keep your legs relaxed. Because if you kick too much, too early on or throughout the swim, your legs have got a lot of muscle in them, and that takes a lot of your energy. So if you're kicking frantically to try and keep afloat, it's going to sap a lot of your energy, and then you're going to get tired faster and you're going to start to lose your breath, and then often people tend to panic. So try and keep the kicking relaxed. It's just a gentle 2-beat kick. Your legs are just keeping you balanced as you go along behind you. Tip number 6 is technique. Again, in an open water, it's different to swimming in a pool where it's relaxed. You're going to have waves, you're going to have bump. If it's windy, it's going to be choppy on the surface, and you're going to have thousands of people around you, like kicking and splashing and pulling. And it's important not to panic. It's important to just try and find a little bit of space. Look up, see where you are, find some space, and then when you can, just get into a nice, long, slow rhythm. So you want long strokes, you want a high elbow, and you want to just be able to swim slow and steady, just getting into a nice, comfortable rhythm and pace that's comfortable for you. And don't worry about the person next to you or the person behind you or the person in front of you. Just get into your own little race and your own little space where you can find a little bit of space and go comfortably. So technique is important. Remember, when you start to get tired, just to lengthen your stroke and keep it long and slow and smooth. And the final tip that I'm going to give you today is pacing. In the beginning of the race, there's a frantic energy. Everyone wants to get going and they want to go, and they tend to sprint and then they die. And then they spend the rest of the race trying to catch up their breath and just get back into a relaxed state. It's better to go out slower and then pick it up if you've got more energy at the end, and just pace yourself so you go comfortably. Again, it's a little bit too late to train for that because you've done all the hard work now. You've got a week to go, you're about to do Midmar. But find a comfortable pace for you and break it down into 400-meter chunks. You'll see the buoys every 400 meters. They're going to be 4 buoys because 1,600 meters in total. And just go slowly for the first one, pick it up for the second, and then try and maintain that for the third. And if you've got more energy, you can pick it up for the fourth sort of chunk. Those of you that struggle to find the buoys, just go at a slow, steady pace. And when you start to see that you're near the end, you're probably not, so give yourself a bit more time. And then when you really see that you're near the end, you can pick it up if you've got more energy. But if you're just doing the race for fun and to participate, there's no need to go out there fast. Start slow and build it up, rather than start fast and then you start to lose your breath and you start to panic, and that's not helpful. So those are my 7 tips. I wish you all the very best. Have fun out there. Remember that you're doing it for fun more than anything else, and because you love open water, and I hope that you have the best race for you. Do remember also to live deeply and tread lightly, or as Wafti puts it, to live treadly and deep lightly. And question for the day, how many Midmars have you done? Is this your first one? Is this your 31st one? And what is your time or target time that you're aiming for? Are you trying to finish it? Just want to finish, or you wanted to go a specific time? Please let us know. We'll be interested to follow. And question number 2 for the day is, how many Midmars do you think I've done? And what is my best Midmar time? If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you like the video, you can click like and share it with your friends. And if you have any questions or comments, please comment in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching.